everybody. Welcome to hrtech's Demo November 2023 edition, organized by hrtech and powered by RChilli. RChilli is incidentally the trusted partner for parsing, matching, and data enrichment for many corporations globally. Before we get into the demo, let's talk about us. Our singular goal has always been to create a tech-driven and data-centric HR ecosystem for driving successful workplace and talent transformation. That will enable organizations to grow and HR teams to become strategic business partners. Strong knowledge of the HR tech ecosystem. We are a Singapore-headquartered HR tech market development and analyst firm. We were set up in 2018. Since then, we have expanded to India and the Middle East to help HR teams identify tech solutions for their business and HR challenges. Application of technology across the employee lifecycle. Technology has revolutionized every phase of the employee lifecycle, enhancing HR processes across the board, from talent planning and acquisition to engagement and development. Technology streamlines operations. A little more about the Demo. hrtech embarked on the hrtech Demo event series in 2019 to evangelize and promote the use of HR technologies. The event provides a platform to HR technology providers to showcase their high-tech solutions, aiding to adoption of HR tech. And the event motto has always been to showcase demos and not presentations. After the onset of the pandemic, we have moved to from an in-person to an on-demand format. We have done Demo events focused on specific topics such as leveraging tech for university hiring, R&R for the hybrid workforce, conversational AI in HR, leveraging tech for talent development, and many more. HR tech trends in talent acquisition. Why are we having this specific Demo? The rise of data-driven recruitment. With data-driven approach, we can make entire process significantly easier, more efficient, and more cost-effective. AI-powered recruitment. AI is being increasingly used in the recruitment process to automate tasks such as resume screening, candidate sourcing, and scheduling interviews. Virtual hiring. The pandemic has accelerated the adoption of virtual hiring technologies such as video interviews, virtual job fairs, and online assessment tools. Video interviewing technology can revolutionize remote hiring by allowing companies to conduct remote interviews with candidates from anywhere in the world. And we're thrilled that as a part of our expert HR panel to witness these demos and clarify questions on behalf of many HR professionals who will be watching this in an on-demand format later, we are highly delighted to host Jalpa Trivedi, Global Head of Talent Acquisition, House of Shipping. To present these demos, we have Wouter from Mangtas and Taya from Wandify.
Thank you very much, Vanshita. So let me first start off with a very quick introduction, just to set the baseline. So there's a common ground to start with when I do my short demo, right? So we are Mangtas. We're a platform for finding the top 5% remote talent in a global remote setting, especially. This is powered through thousands and thousands of sourcing partners that feed us their talents and fully automated through AI in a way that is scalable, intelligent, and unbiased. But maybe taking a step back to understand the exact problem that we solve. Remote staffing today, as it stands, is massive, great opportunity, but extremely unreliable. In a world of 5 billion talents online, especially from developing countries, 4 out of 5 remote hires still fail today, ultimately costing businesses over $1 trillion a year. Massive and important problem. Now, what we built is an AI assistant with a complete management framework around it, which can be done in a self-serve manner, which I showed you in a second. Now, the whole objective of our solution is to find and hire the top 5% talent, especially in the remote setting. Now, what our assistant called Arya does, there are 5 core components to this. So one is the sourcing, so AI-powered talent sourcing, where she onboards thousands and thousands of talents a day through our thousands of partners and other channels. She also creates tests, topics for any specific job description, questions that provides those questions, and then ultimately evaluates those answers as well, even open-ended types of questions, which I'll show to you in a second. She also does AI interviews, meaning she creates a real life-like interview experience where she actually asks the questions to the talents that are applying and evaluates those answers on the fly. When people pass our vetting, she also scrapes over 500 data points from unstructured sources, being it socials, websites, references, name it, and pulls it all together. So we have a really rich data set, not only for vetting, but also later on for matching. And then finally, talking about matching, this is the final piece of the puzzle where clients put in job descriptions. And based on the job description, rather than providing 100 options, she'll take only the best 5 matches for that specific JD. Okay. So without further ado, what I'll do is try to show as much of this as I can in a 10-minute or 12-minute demo. Okay. So what I'll do first is okay, let me minimize this first. Let me refresh the page. So let me first start off by showing a specific job description, just to make sure we have the same kind of storyline and we're on the same page. Yeah. So basically what you see on your screen is, imagine I'm a hiring manager from Google. I'm looking for a full stack engineer, which is a technical role, someone that develops both front end and development side of the solution. And let's say very specifically, this person is looking for Node.js and at the same time React or Angular. Okay. Now, what we'll do now is what you'll see here on your screen is an actual client dashboard, right? With this dashboard, you can find and hire talents, monitor their work, you can contract, and then you also do payments. Okay, but we'll just focus on the first part for now. What you'll see here are 4 jobs that were already defined and uploaded with 5, sometimes 8 matches generated for that specific job. You'll see that we cover many different types of roles, not just tech, but also, for instance, customer service and business development, plus some very niche tech roles. Yeah. Now, let's see this all in action. So when I click on new job, I'll just copy paste the link that I showed you a while ago. When I press enter, it automatically starts scraping the core details from the link that was provided. So you'll see it determined that it belongs to the full stack engineering type of roles. It will come up with a company description, job description text. If I want to, I could add additional requirements here, which are not explicitly listed for the matching engine to consider. And then it will extract more information, including, for instance, a time zone that needs to be covered. And then I press save. That's all. From that point onwards, automatically, you'll see that that job has been defined and matches are getting generated. So you'll see here are 5 matches now. You'll get a nice pop-up saying that they have been generated. So you're fully aware. And now I have a 5th job added to my full list of jobs. Okay, great. As a hiring manager, what would be the first steps that I would take is I go and click on that, right? And I evaluate it. Now, one thing to notice here is I have 5 candidates, highly vetted, highly matched. I could have thrown thousands of full stack developers to this hiring manager, and they would have completely lost, right? In the real world, what happens is a very unstructured way of consolidating CVs and trying to find the good ones out of the rest, right? Here, what has happened, everyone is pre-vetted and highly matched to the job description. You'll have different stages, new matches, contracted, rejected, right? You'll be able to look across different talents. So you see Tala from Malaysia, Yara from Sri Lanka, someone from Vietnam, Pakistan, India, okay? Now, what you also see is that it's really an apples to apples comparison, right? Regardless of where they're from and how their original CVs would have looked like, we are completely structuring that whole unstructured data set. Now, what you'll see is for Tala, for instance, let's do a little bit of a zoom, deep dive. He has 10 years of experience. There's a specific cost, which is within budget. It starts off with a nice little summary, right? If I only have 10 seconds to look at a CV, right? It starts with a summary of describing exactly why Tala is a very good match for this specific job description, right? This was completely fully automated and generated at the time that I pressed save. Okay. If I like what I see, I can go a little bit deeper. I can see somebody show details. I can see it has a master's degree, very good English, actually led a team of 20 already. And you'll also see feedback from references. Okay, it could be a supervisor, client, a colleague. As part of our vetting, we automatically actually automatically reaches out to references that are being put up, and those get consolidated here as well. Okay? So if you like this as a first cut, the next obvious step would be to look at the skills profile. So as I described earlier, Arya automatically generates topics, questions, and then evaluates those. So you'll see here all the different, let's say, topics or categories relevant for a full stack developer, from software development fundamentals to full stack development, the full stack development fundamentals to specific tech stacks, reasoning, architectural design capabilities, English fundamentals, and coding. Okay. We'll also see how that then compares to market averages, right? So we have a very good grasp of the market and understand from different markets and different jobs what the average scores are, and you see how that person compares them. Now, what we also do in the backend is we have proctoring tools in place with embedded AI, where we proctor the video from the webcam, where we proctor the screen, we monitor tab switches, ultimately allowing this candidate to actually browse around and do stuff which we allow, like say, for instance, code in their own development environment in a way where they actually don't have to memorize anything, which is a big part of what we believe in. The type of questions that we will ask are always going to be real world questions. We're very much against theory and questions that require memory. So it's really about, okay, how would you thrive in the real world? What are some real practical questions that we would ask, right? That would include stuff like multiple choice, but done in a non-theoretical way. But also, more importantly, even open-ended questions, like the stuff that normally, previously, only individuals could do manually. For instance, in this case, we'll ask a developer to come up with an architectural design, right? Here's a real-world scenario. That person is asked to answer that question in writing and justify all the decision made. Our AI will then assess, give it a score, and explain why that score was given in a very open-ended way. Okay. Same for coding, right? So we'll ask coding questions, very simple questions, but we tell them, don't just make it work. Most providers out there will just compare this against test cases. We're much more concerned about the quality of the code written. So we tell them, write high quality code, do it in your own environment so you're comfortable. Don't worry, we're monitoring your screen anyway. If you go to GPT, you will know. And ultimately, the code gets generated, right? So then a score comes out. You'll see a functional perspective, meaning how correct is the code, and then non-functional perspective, how well is the code written? It's well structured, it's using appropriate variable names, it's actually quite scalable, etc., right? Really giving us, but more importantly, the hiring manager, an ability to deep dive and go into the mind of this individual captured in a very quick way. Okay. Now, if I go back to my client dashboard, if I like what I saw, all right, I can also look at the interview videos. I mentioned earlier that there's a process where it creates a lifelike interview scenario for talents. Those videos ultimately get captured and are embedded into the profile for hiring managers to see. So we'll ask about a background, so you get a quick preview of that, the impact that a person has had, why they're passionate about full stack engineering, more and more stuff. But one of the questions we'll ask is also why they answered, I showed you a while ago that they answered an architectural design question. We now give that talent an opportunity to say more about that and elaborate a little bit further in person. Right?
Cool. I was asked to design such a application where we were supposed to list products, sell products, and have users create them.
So basically, the whole point here is that if I'm a hiring manager, I can not only see the output presented to me, but I can actually listen to how this person articulates about solutions that they create, right? Which is a very important factor when you make a hiring decision, but actually also especially amplified in the remote setting, right? And then we ask many more questions, including some questions like fun facts and all that, to kind of allow the hiring manager to quickly make culture fit decisions as well based on this. Okay. Now, furthermore, let's say you want to do go one level deeper still, all right? We will also generate a CV in a more traditional format, what hiring managers are traditionally familiar with, where everything gets consolidated, where they have access to the key stats again. So this can be downloaded. You can access the videos, the test scorecard, even a GitHub profile, basically where you see more of their projects that they have created that they make public. Again, a nice summary, but then we go one level deeper as well to go into the actual education, the tech skills listed down, the experience listed down in a highly structured format, right? And that's completely scraped. So the talent does not have to recreate this. We automatically define this based on the data we acquire and based on what they submit to us. Okay. So including, for instance, certifications, right? Now, back to the UI here. All right. So let's say, okay, I like Tala. You have a couple of options. You can either say, you know what, I trust Mangtas, I trust this person, I can contract this person, we can go ahead and start working. But the vast majority of the time, we will trigger one more interview where you can do a Q&A, or you can make them follow your process if you really want to. And then basically based on that, make a decision where you can basically either contract or reject this person, where they'll move through the flow, right? Now, basically, what's also very important is we are not aiming to replace applicant tracking systems or ATSs, while we have a simple flow where clients or hiring managers can come in and make decisions in a self-serve manner. For bigger enterprises that use providers such as, for instance, Greenhouse or Lever or Jazz HR, you will actually be able to, with one click, set up an integration with one of our partners that we support. You can request for more integrations over time, where you can stick to your existing systems and workflows, and we just plug in all of this information in the backend, right? We have partnerships with all of these players. This is not limited to applicant tracking systems. We also support EOR providers, for instance, where we can actually automatically generate contracts, make sure the payments are integrated and all of that, okay? So that concludes my short and I hope that was clear, and I'm ready for any questions.
Thank you, Wouter, for that demo. Over to you, Jalpa, for your Q&A.
Thank you, Wouter. That was a really good demo. Bear with me, I do have plenty of questions on that. Very quickly, for everybody who's joined us, I'm Jalpa Tripathi, the Global Head of Talent Acquisition at Houser Shipping. Houser Shipping is a consulting company which is headquartered out of Dubai, UAE. Also, I would like to thank Vanchita and hrtech and RChilli for inviting me as the expert panelist today. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And I will now straight go on to the demo that Wouter has just delivered. Wouter, thank you very much. Just a quick question. Can I, as a recruiter, specify my requirements? So I know you said that upload the job description and the technology does the thing. What, you know, at this point in time, I'm a big LinkedIn user. So in LinkedIn, I do Boolean searches like, I want a candidate with 5 years experience, but less than 10 years of experience. I want somebody within this 3 industries, but not these 4 industries. I want them to speak these 2 languages, but not those 5 languages. I make up a Boolean search, and then LinkedIn gives me with a few options. These are the things typically recruiters don't put it in a job description. This is when we actually go and search for a candidate. We kind of, you know, filter out the best possible candidate for us. So how can your technology, when we recruiters have so many specifications, so many filters, so when you said just put in your job description, here are your 5 matching candidates, but they might not be matching because I have so many filters in my head that I want to apply?
Yeah, very good question. And maybe it's worth taking a step back to understand how we started, right? So me and my co-founder, we have over a decade of experience in, let's say, more manual type of staffing, where we were kind of an agency. We exited that quite successful, but we felt how unscalable that was. So that question that you just asked me is super relevant. I understand exactly what you're saying. Now, when we built Mangtas, we first went through every single step manually to understand everything that mattered, what didn't matter, and slowly over time, we took away the friction points to make it scalable and automated that, right? And one big part is exactly what you mentioned. One is a job description, which is very clear, tangible data, off you go. But what usually happens is once you have a call with a client, right, and you try to understand what do you really want, you'll all of a sudden have a whole bunch of notes that you would take. So what I showed earlier as well. So you have the job description text, and then there's a section there, additional requirements not in the job description. And that's something that you can type in. Now, we used to have a way of filtering that AI-ish. By AI, I mean synonyms. I mean very smart way of indexing data and searching for it and allowing Booleans, like you mentioned. But we took that to the next level where it's conversational, where you can, what you just described does not require you to understand what Boolean even means.
Correct.
You just say it in your own words, and it will consider the job description together with your words, right? That's the whole solution to the problem. So you're right. The short answer is yes. It's
So
exactly how we have it. You have the option to leave a blank, but over time, if you want to fine tune your search, you can go in and ask for more matches.
There is the option for recruiters to apply their filters to say it as in terms of who they're looking for.
Correct.
My second question is these candidates which are on your database, how are you getting those candidates? Are these candidates applying, giving them consensus that, okay, you are actually able to introduce their resumes without them perhaps even knowing who you're going to introduce it to them? So for instance, you have 100 candidates and you have me as a client and I'm uploading my job description and these 5 candidates are coming, which are viewable. Those 5 candidates are not even aware of the fact that they are being looked at by House of Shipping. Maybe they did not want their CVs to be looked at House of Shipping. Maybe they wanted it to be looked at another company. So how is the privacy of the candidates being adhered to? Because over here, literally in a matter of seconds, I got 5 candidates. So essentially, you've not even checked with the candidate and you've not taken their consent that we are going to be sharing your details with House of Shipping, because this is happening instantly in a matter of seconds. So how is that happening? How is the privacy issues being covered over here?
Very good question. And then I guess the first part is how you find talents. The second part of your question is consent and matching and making sure that that's all, let's say, aligned to privacy rules and all that, right? So the first part is we have over 3,000 now, what we call sourcing partners. This could be recruiters, this could be tech vendors, this could be consultancies that themselves actually have employed already a whole bunch of talents or want to employ talents if they get an assurance that they get placed, right? So we basically build these partnerships. We spend a lot of time forging this. On top of that, we also have other channels. Yeah. So basically, they have an opportunity to be part of the platform, to be part of the top 5%. Okay, and that's how they get into our system. Now, the second part is consent, not 100%, right? So we just went through a massive security, privacy, and fairness, let's say, review by a third party to make sure that we are fully compliant with all of this. So we have this on our website. We're very transparent on what we do, what we're working on and all that. But a big part of that is indeed obtaining the consent of the talent and making them fully aware that we're going to do our very best to match them to clients, right? They're anonymized anyway, right? You don't know who they are. Yes, you see a video, but you don't have a name, you don't have an email address, you don't have access to any of that, right? And then
I see their face, right? So I might happen to know of them.
Yeah, and that we get consent for. That's part one. The second part, there's a preferences component to this. When a client applies, it's very much a multi-directional thing. It's an equal opportunity. When we started Mangtas, it was all about equal opportunity for people that are remote, that never had the opportunity to work with international clients, that are very, very talented, but just were never connected. That's what we're focusing on. But we're not exposing them just blindly to everyone. We also ask them, what do you want? What don't you want to be matched to? So if they explicitly tell us certain industry avoid, certain industries include, that will be part of our matching algorithms. So that's kind of my holistic, long-winded answer.
Okay. In terms of, eventually you will have multiple clients, maybe all looking for the same type of people, because few roles are so popular. Every single company are looking for, especially salespeople. Everybody wants to look for salespeople. So there could be an instance where I have been introduced a sales candidate for one of my requirements, and simultaneously other client has been introduced the same candidate for their sales requirement. So 2 companies are looking at the same candidate at the same time. how does your tool manage that conflict? Because I
Well,
want that candidate and the other company wants that candidate as
it's
well.
not a conflict, it's an open market, right? Supply demand. So basically we make it very clear to the client that if you like someone, act quick, because it's a first commit, first serve policy. So the client, there are talents may or may not be matched to other ones simultaneously. So be decisive, because we will say, look, this client is currently available, this talent is currently available. It's ultimately up to the talent to still say they want or don't want to work with you, right? We are not part of that process. But also be aware that this client may have been matched to other clients. So quite often we will actually make that explicit if that's truly the case, right? But if that's not the case, we will just say, in the meantime, while you're taking your time, that client may also be matched to other clients.
Understood. And when the candidate, when we are being introduced to a candidate, I couldn't see over there, do we also get understanding of their current package or their expected package, in what currency, etc.? Do we get that information?
Correct. So there are a couple of things we do there. So you see that very much. So on the left, immediately in the overview, you see 3 core details. It's experience, I believe country, and then there is like salary expectation and availability, right? What's the notice period? Those are the 3 core things we always show first. When you then deep dive, you then also see immediately the cost. Now, very importantly, the cost is completely pre-negotiated. And this is one big value that we actually provide to our clients. Like when we started this whole business, the type of pricing we got was ridiculous. It was everything for the same type of talent, everything from $1,000 to $20,000. Like it's unbelievable how people are testing their luck and actually trying to completely scam is maybe not the right word, but let's just say try to get 300-400% margins or whatever. Yeah. So we kind of know what averages look like. And we also keep, let's say, the talents, but also in this case, sometimes the agencies behind the talent at bay, where we say, look, you are free. It's an open market. But please know when we present these talents that they're going to be compared against other talents. And these are the average that we truly see in the market. So one, it allows us to really pre-negotiate, and we go through rounds of pre-negotiations in several rounds that way, but also guide the clients on pricing. So quite often they don't know.
Sure. My other question was, how does your pricing work? Do clients get charged upon placement of a successful candidate, or how does your pricing structure work?
Very good question. So basically, we do what we call pricing arbitrage, right? So we look at the budgets, we look at the supply, and typically we get about 10% as an average that we see. Now, the way we work, and this is very important, right? We are very much a contractor marketplace, because just taking a step back, we are focused on remote. What that means is our clients will be from countries like US, UK, Singapore. They will not have entities in countries where they want to hire from. So to them, it's in their best interest to not hire them directly, but have a contractor type of agreement. So the way that works is we will take care not only of finding the talent, but we'll also make sure that that talent is compliantly, legally hired. And we take care of the payroll.
So you charge per position or per month? So how does the client engage with your organization? Is it per month? So in that particular month, I can put up 100 job descriptions or just one job description, but I get the same service. And so it's a monthly fee that one needs to pay.
No, it's actually it's completely free until you hire someone. And then the payments come through us. So they will have one contract, one agreement per talent. They have a contractor agreement with us, and we then take care of all the backend, right? And as part of this, we take a monthly small cut every month when they do the payments. So we take care of the payroll to our partners, legal hiring, and all that. So that's the way we operate.
And if we do find somebody relevant and then we are taking them through interview rounds, etc., can your system integrate with our ATS, whatever that may be?
Exactly.
To allow for a smooth transition?
Exactly. So in many cases, especially enterprises or even job boards, what happens is they don't ever interact with the user interface I just showed. They just set up a one-time connection where they give us the authority to basically listen to jobs that come in and feed talents as a plugin, really. And all that happens then is they stay in their existing system, their existing technology, their existing workflow, and they just get fed talents with all the data points that you just saw. When they can make then decisions there, click buttons, and we will get the updated statuses, and everything will work in a synchronized manner. So that's the model we actually prefer, because in that case, we don't have to change behavior.
Okay, well, just tell me something. How long has Mangtas been operational for? Do you already have clients onboarded?
Oh, yeah. Of course. We have been around for a couple of years.
Okay.
We are funded, and yeah, we have numerous clients. You go to our website, you can see the list of references we have, and yeah, for sure.
And who would Mangtas consider its competitor?
Very good question. It's really like, ultimately while we are a tech company, I wouldn't call the tech our product. Our product is really the high quality talents. So while you could argue there are players that are trying to do the same as us in the tech space, I wouldn't necessarily consider them as competitors, because they're all quite small still and they're not that relevant yet. It's much more the players like, the bigger recruitment companies and all that. They have a very different model, but they solve a similar issue. So I would say the biggest threat, if I may, would be like the freelancer type of platforms who currently only focus on freelancers, like Fiverr, Upwork, TopTal. We are very much focused on full-time, long-term staffing. So that would be a kind of a comparison. Yeah.
And I'm mindful of the time. So my final question, what would Mangtas' USP be?
Really, we pull it all together, right? If you want to go and find high quality talent in a remote setting today, there's no real good place to go. So basically we bring reliability to the remote staffing space, and that's really it in a nutshell.
Lovely. Wouter, thank you very much for patiently answering all of my questions. Truly appreciate your time. Thank you. Over to you, Vanshita.
Thank you, Wouter. Thank you, Japa, for your questions. I would now like to invite Taya from Wandify for her 12-minute session.
Hello, everybody. Anshita, thank you for this opportunity, and thanks to hrtech organization to show you more about our product. We are talking right now about Wandify. Wandify, it's a solution platform. It's a sourcing platform, and mostly was created for lead generators and also sourcers. So, and to have a step back, I would like also to share that my personal background is from recruitment agency, and I'm still an owner of Talent Recruitment, and we do recruitment worldwide. So after years of testing different solutions and trying, offers from dozens of salespeople, we really suffered to choose really great ones. And sometimes they were super expensive, sometimes they were really great but expensive, yeah, and sometimes they were just not working but affordable for a price. So that's why after some trials, we started to do our own solutions, and right now we invest our funds for creating these things. So right now it's totally bootstrapped, and this is what I will show you. It's what we've done during 1.5 years, but the data was gathered actually not during 1 year, and right now it's a solution for recruiters and sourcers who could add information directly to this platform, and could exchange information also, and our support team and our internal team could also check this information and validate it, and only after put into the system. So right now we're trying to solve questions regarding this powerful searching engines also how to work in big teams when you're searching in different platforms altogether, and also how to validate data and to have it not only from one source like LinkedIn or GitHub, but from different sources, and how to have out really updated contacts and database. So this is what the product is about, and let me show you how does it work. So right now we can log in, and you may see different filters, and filters are actually was the main thing what we were suffered with. Yes, like for example, mostly if you are going to LinkedIn, there is limited number of different filters. So here you may see lots of them, and also we created more and more. So I'm not sure if you see everything. Oh yeah. So here you may see that, for example, if you put United Kingdom, so we have about 2 million profiles already, and the database is growing. So tomorrow it's going to be more. And right now there are totally more than 25 million profiles in our database, and mostly it's for Europe and the USA, and we are for sure going to Middle East and India, because we see a great potential in that markets, and Indonesia and Malaysia. So that's why we see that our database is going to be grow to that direction. So let me show you example for how to search here. So you may see that total number of profiles applicable here. So also if you were already at our platform and you already opened some contacts, then they may appear here. So if you didn't pay for a contact, then they won't appear in your screen. So you should only receive pay for it, and to put the button that yes, I would like to show information. So regarding skills and regarding job titles, so here you see that it's totally Boolean, and you may search for different difficult search inquiries, and also you can choose match any or just only one. So and all of them, and additional skills, etc. So you may also search by keywords. So let me show, for example, Java and iOS. So all together, and the screen, the search engine is actually appearing very fast. And so here you may see quite a limited number, yes, already, so only 228. And right now our platform is used for data extraction. I mean that for analytics, it's quite powerful and useful, because also this search engine, they are connected to synonymous. They're not just for ordinary words, yes, and keywords. It's a synonymous engine, and it's quite powerful. That's why we spent lots of time to create this, and that's why it was right now it works much better than other popular systems which we compete with. So also we have specific different fields. For example, here you may mention how many years you would like to have for the specific people, and the years on the current position, because also we faced that, for example, for in Malaysia and in Ukraine, some people would like to stay at current places for 1 year and not more. And for European clients, it's quite important to have people on board for at least for 3 years, yeah. And it's also important for them, so they could check these criteria and also search for people who are applicable and who could be a perfect match. So that's why all these things were done for us. And now we may see that also there are here even less people yeah, who has more than 10 years of experience and 2 years at current places. And also we have a specific spotlights. For example, we could show you open to work candidates who are, for example, open to work, and the system has these updates regarding on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, you may see that there are several people open to work. For sure, they most of them, they are connected to LinkedIn information, and it could be outdated because they didn't change this status, but mostly we could filter them and work only with those who are open to work. And this is what is quite applicable and quite useful nowadays. So also you may use a system for big teams and put tags, comments, and also you may see what profiles you already reviewed during 30 days, for example. And you may put all profiles you found it in different folders, and your team could see what already you have found, and don't do the same work. And it's quite also useful when you are, for example, you have a team of 30 or 50 people, then they could use the system very smart. So regarding, for sure, I couldn't show all of these filters, so you are welcome to try them, and we provide a demo also where all these filters could be also seen by our support team, which is actually accessible almost 24/7, and we are quite so it's not like a bot assistance, it's really it's done by people. And regarding pricing models, so it's quite also somewhere in between different platforms who offering something the same, but we compete for the quality of these filters and what how many profiles and applicable profiles you'll receive. And so you have plans for 6 months, for 3 months, and for 12 months. And also you can see that as many people you have, then the more affordable price you'll receive. So also enterprise solution is applicable, and what we also have, we have open API, so we are quite open to be integrated to different platforms and also to applicant tracking systems. And also we have ongoing projects with quite huge applicant tracking systems, well known, and we found also inquiries of clients that they would like to have their updated databases, internal ones, and we could also do this upon request. And it's not connected to contact database, it's just about profiles. And if we have contacts, then we tune the price one by one, and we see if it's in European Union, for example, profiles here, or in the USA. So the price could be different because we also pay for databases when we extract data, and this is what is quite sensitive regarding GDPR and regarding information we receive. So, and regarding the future, regarding the future features, for sure, after receiving all this information, we are working on prediction analytics. So, and soon we're supposed to have prediction after, these AI manipulations with lots of data. We could predict when candidates are open to work in the best probability. So right now we have about 65% of probability, and for sure our internal team, before any kind of live version, we are trying it on our recruiters and the net of recruiters we are dealing with, because we are also a part of Recruitment Entrepreneurs Club. So that's why we also always have like 2-3 trials and alpha beta tests before providing it for better for the whole world. So quite open for any kind of cooperations and to answer lots of your questions, and hope you may have a chance to test the system and to find it better than some already well-known solutions, And also you may, because of lots of blocks in LinkedIn, you may see profiles directly from the system, and LinkedIn for sure won't block you, because right now, you know, there's strict rules, and for some companies which are just started and they, for example, are not ready to pay in the beginning, then it could be a great solution to start your business, to start your recruitment business, for example. Thank you for your time, and yeah, happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you, Taya, for this wonderful and insightful session. Over to you, Jalpa, for your quick Q&A.
Thank you. So, right, Taya, thank you so very much for your demo. Truly appreciate you taking the time. Quick question. You know, from the looks of it, from the first looks of it, it seems like a solution which is very close to what LinkedIn is currently offering. And LinkedIn has over millions of users from every single continent in the world, whereas you said your platform at this point in time covers the Europe and the Americas, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me something, Taya, why would one use Wandify over LinkedIn? What would the USP of Wandify be?
Yes, thank you, Jalpa, for a question. And for sure, it's, you know, after being a recruiter and sourcer for years, so this is LinkedIn, and LinkedIn blogs was our main trouble. And unfortunately, right now, LinkedIn is a kind of, you know, just a monopoly of sourcing solutions, yes, and of not sourcing only, but just platforms for all professionals right now, and especially for IT, where our platform is mostly for IT people. And it's quite difficult there to source, for example, if there is a team for 50 or 100 people, and all of them, they need to have a paid LinkedIn. So there are thousands and thousands of budgets just were paid for LinkedIn. And I was in a part of that group that spent, like, you know, enormous sums of money just for one solution. And sometimes when you put different keywords, then filters, they provide you not proper candidates. So it's not, it wasn't enough for a data just to, you know, to see how many people applicable and exact people. And we suffered, for example, just a simple filter open to work, so etc. It's about, I'm talking just about free version, for example, or just a recruiter light version. For a corporate, it's quite great, and it solves almost everything. So right now we are compete only by price, for sure, and so it's more affordable. And also depends on, for example, for filters in some specific regions like Poland, Ukraine, we have much more data than LinkedIn, because we grab it from lots of different areas, and we have this, you know, algorithms how to do this. And also we cooperate with lots of recruiters and sources who help us to grab the data. So that's why, for example, right now our focus is for Middle East and India, and we understand how to manage this during half a year, for example. So that's why we see our potential, and we see that we could go to this market. And for sure, we receive lots of offers regarding funding, you know, etc. And we need to do lots of experiments by ourselves, because we need to be for a long period of time in this market. So this is our ambition.
Thank you. Sure, thank you, Taya. So you said your USP is mainly around the pricing side, whereas LinkedIn could be a very, very costly solution. Yours is much more cost effective. So from a pricing perspective, what I was seeing on the website is you have a free version and you have a paid version. How is that differentiated? What do you get in a free version, and how is the credits utilized? Can I understand how the pricing is structured?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for this question. It's quite common because it's not understandable for the first sight. So for the free version, you may use only filters, and you may see everything what is there in database. So you may see as many profiles as you would like. So all these Boolean search and keywords, etc. You may try. So you're welcome, and you may pay only for contacts after. So for a free version, you have only 5 per day, and then sorry, per month, and then for sure, if you would like to have more, then you will pay. And this is for all such types of solutions. And you may also see that as much contacts you would like to open, then as much you should pay.
Okay, and once we have identified a few candidates that a recruiter is interested in, along with seeing their experience details, does one also get the contact details? Is that visible as well, or the contact details are not visible of the candidate?
For 5 credits you see it per month, so yes, only 5 are visible, and for others you should pay like 4 months.
Yeah, that's fine. So when we are actually using a credit to see a profile along with their name, etc., the experience, would the contact details be visible as well, their email address or their phone numbers?
Yeah, so this is a kind of an example here. So you may see that this one was already opened. So, and you may see some contacts of this profile, and the whole team, they will see this. So you shouldn't, if you will have the same filters, then all candidates who were already opened by others, so they will be already with contacts.
How many candidates do you have listed on Wandify already?
More than 25 millions, and we are about 75 millions in 3 months.
Lovely. And how are you promoting Wandify, just out of curiosity? Because how will candidates be aware of the fact that there is something called Wandify out there, and we can actually register ourselves if we are a job seeker?
Yeah, it's a good question. So regarding we are right now have policies in our website. So they were written also totally for GDPR, and that's why every candidate who saw their profiles and who were reached by, for example, source or recruiter, and don't want to be here in this system, they may send us request, and for sure this information will be deleted. And it's also applicable to delete it directly from the website. So that's why it's only upon a request, and it's for sure something we are doing all the time, because it's really okay for such kind of systems, and mostly on databases which receive information for payment, they sometimes don't check everybody's agreement on this.
A quick question: if I want to advertise my open position for candidates to apply, as opposed to me looking for candidates, but I want candidates to apply, can I advertise my open positions on Wandify as well?
So,
or not yet?
Yeah, not yet, but maybe in the future, if we receive, the requirements, we have a log of lots of requirements, because there are more and more, and everybody would like different ones. So that's why we provide also an open API, and you can do everything, whatever you want with your applicant tracking system, because it's more for applicant tracking for job boards as well. So that's why, yeah, maybe in the future, and we don't want to, to be everywhere. We just would like to be specifically here and to work better with our data. And then for the future, so it's going to be additional product, and they will be all of them integrated. So we need Wandify, actually it was created by 3 solutions. They were, some of them were not finished, some of them were like bootstrapped and then didn't receive money money, and that's why we took all of them, integrated, and our luck was they were all in Java. So that's why it was applicable, and we are all in touch with all HR tech solutions just to see who are in different stages, to own some of them, and maybe to help them to grow, etc.
Okay, lovely. And I have one last question, because your solution is mainly driven around sourcing, assisting recruiters to source candidates on a different platform. Are you planning on updating your system in the way that everything is now being surrounded with generative AI? So will your system or your tool in the future allow or incorporate Gen AI into this, whereas all I have to do is give my requirements or put my requirements on the system, and then they selecting the best candidates instead of me getting a result of 1,000+ candidates? Will you be incorporating Gen AI into your system soon?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we are going step by step, and already lots of features they already implemented, but at our home version, as I told you. So that's why right now we would like to show when the probability is 87% at least. So it's quite important for us, because lots of users, they are trying and then understand that it doesn't work and they just go. So we are quite picky regarding reputation and regarding just to be always with the user and to build a strong relationship for ages. So right now the main focus is for prediction analytics, when we could just predict the behavior of the candidates. We step back regarding their work experience, and we try to predict what is their next step and when it's going to be, taking into consideration lots of migration things, and it's not just only regarding their personal profile and their what kind of positions, what kind of company they're working in. So there are dozens and dozens of filters and data. And right now we also have the next step after we could predict this, then how the exact profile, the exact job description match for this specific person, what we're faced with. And lots of products right now, they are shouting that they could do this. Unfortunately, there is not enough data. So we are suffering from receiving data from candidates firstly. So to do this quite great and quite brilliant, we should have a solution how to attract candidates to fill like thousands of questionnaires, and also have from the another part employers who will also fill these the same fields. So that's why I see that it's a question in 2-3 years, and for sure we are searching for solutions who are just specifically solving this trouble, because it's a huge part of work. And what also we found out that lots of founders who are deep inside HR tech, they don't estimate clearly how much it will cost. So that's why for Wandify, we see that it's a possible way to be integrated with some other solution, and maybe for sure we are doing this simultaneously. We are trying by ourselves, and also if just to match through AI what we have already, just a profile and just a job description, for sure we have it even half a year ago. But so what to do after? So it's just a kind of we don't see like recruiters that it doesn't help a lot, unfortunately.
Lovely. Thank you, Taya. Thank you so very much for patiently answering all my questions. Truly appreciate your time.
I appreciate the questions.
Thank you.
Coming to an end of the demo November 2023 series, where we showcase tools that can be leveraged for candidate scouting and evaluation. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Jalpa for her time and effort. I thank the entire team, Wouter, and the entire team of Mangtas for presenting and accepting our invite to be a part of our series. I thank Wandify and the entire team to be a part of this demo hour. I thank RChilli for always supporting us, and we'd love to host you soon. Thank you.